guys, I am going to make my first video with all of my completed pages. I have September and October here because September I really just colored at the end of the month. I only had, I think, like maybe 6 or 7 at the most pages, so I decided I'll just show those. It's November right now, November 15th, so we're halfway through the month, and I literally have only colored 1.5 pages, so I really need to get down to business. I've just been so busy. My best friend was here. I know you guys, I mentioned if you watched my last video, and so I didn't really color much then, and I've just been like crazy with work, so unfortunately I had to like take a break from my groups on Instagram, and I've really kind of been reading a lot. So I'm gonna color later today. Oh, my dog just wanted to say hi. If you heard her in the background, she's probably gonna want to talk more later throughout the video, but that's just her. I can't control her. She's a wild beast. She really is. So let's get down to September. I'm like so nervous because I'm right in front of my window. I feel like this light is great, but I'm like at floor level, and like I live in like what they call like garden style apartments, so like we're all connected on like the first level, and so like I'm right facing the sidewalk and like everybody else, so I'm like, I really hope nobody walks by and sees me, but anyway, whatever, I really don't care. So this was September. I really see, like, I didn't even put in anything for like my buddy groups or hashtags. I had one group that I've like stayed in, like I go in and out, you know, so like this is the one that I've stayed in, and it's actually called something different now, but this is everything I did. So yeah, I did 7 in September, and they were mostly at the end of the month. So let me show you. The first one was in Fairy Fuzz. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. First one was in Fairy Fuzz, and this is probably one of my favorite books. I feel like I've done a lot of my best work in this one book. Actually, for some reason, it is by Anna Amelia Studio. Love all her books. So this was for a group that I want to say now it's called Fantasy and Fables. This is that one that I've like always stayed in, and like they never kicked me out even if I don't do anything. So I have a lot of glitter on here. I did this with Ohuhu's, the Honolulu markers. Then I outlined with acrylics, metallic acrylics, and then I got in here with my Sparkle Pops. I was trying to like make this like the music kind of, and I just like went scribble all over the place, but I like it. I think it came out really cute. And this page I hadn't colored in forever, so this was nice because it kind of, I was like, oh my god, yes, I love coloring, I need to get back at it. Taking a sip of my coffee. I don't know what that is, but yeah. I'm obsessed with my Nespresso. I just got it a few months ago. So yeah, I really like this page. The group, I think, has a theme, and honestly, I can't remember the theme, but this was a palette. Let me show you a couple other pages in this book. Done this one. This is one of like my earlier, this was from April. I guess it's not early, but this is one of my favorite pages ever that I've ever done. I love that one. This is the background from that Coco Wyo tutorial book. Love this one too. This is the first time I colored crystals. And then that one. So I guess there's not as much as I thought in here, but yeah, love this book. So let me see. The next one is, this was from September, remember? So this was Space Timber coloring. Let me get this out of here so there's no shadow on you. So this one was just a fun one I did for Spacember. It was like just a quickie. I used the granulating watercolors on the background. I kind of regretted that afterwards, to be honest. I used the Arteza Expert pencils. I colored this right when I got the Arteza Expert pencils, and I love them. I was like, oh my god, I got them on sale, and I was like, oh, I need to buy more. I didn't. I controlled myself because I don't need 2 sets of them. Sorry about the doggy. So I think I just winged this. I didn't use a palette or anything. I just kind of wanted it to be like very like bright and contrast, like high contrast colors. I did use my metallic acrylics again to outline. I use those a lot. I'm hoping they don't ever like dry up. And yeah, that was one of the Spacember pictures I did. This is a cute book. I don't even, is that bleed through? I don't know if that's bleed through or if that's me being messy. It's what it kind of looks like. Yes, so that was September also. And then in September, I did my first page in Dragonspell. And this is for a group that I'm in. It's a big group on Instagram that we pick a page. I think someone randomizes it and then we vote on it. Where is it? There we go. So this is a different page for me. So basically what happened with this one was I went in here with the gelatos. I went in here with this purple metallic gelato, and I was trying to do just the background, but it quickly turned into a mess, and I was like, okay, whatever, let's just cover the whole page with this purple. And then I went in with my metallic acrylics and just outlined the dragon, and I really like it, honestly. I feel like it's something totally different that I would never set out to do, but I think it came out really cool. And like in the right light, you can really, it looks really cool. So the only thing I don't like is how this is like where like the rips of the page kind of came out, and I don't really like how those turned out. The planets in the background, I just used a Sparkle Pop Silver. I didn't really want them to stand out, so I just gave those like a little bit of glitter. Added a bunch of stars, my favorite thing to do, and called it a day. I mean, this was like super quick to do because all I did was outline and throw the gelatos on. I'm still learning the gelatos. I got a bunch of them when Michael started carrying them. I got like all the packs they have, and I do really like them, but I'm still learning how to use them. But, you know, this came out of it, something that I would normally never do. So this was kind of cool. I'm going to put this back in the October pile because I also have another page in there. Let's see. Then I did Autumn Harvest. This book I bought specifically for autumn this year, and I just kind of started coloring a random page. I did this with Prismacolors. The whole thing is Prismacolors. I did outline in acrylics. I think it was all Posca acrylics, and then I go with Sparkle Pop or Crazy Pop. I can't never remember like which ones are Sparkle and which ones are Crazy Pop, but they're all kind of the same to me. I really love how this turned out. I love the color scheme. I kind of just like picked colors as I went, and I think it turned out really good. I actually saved this orange combination, and I used it again in another picture you'll see in a few minutes. But I love pumpkin spice. I live for pumpkin spice season, so yeah, I really like this one. And I like how the whipped cream turned out with the white, like the white Posca really made it like pop. I like it. Let me see if I can catch the glitter. Kind of. I did it like on all the fall leaves. I think that's it. And the border. Oh, so yeah, this was end of September. Then I did a page in Spooky Coloring Adventures of Witch Cat by Sarah Sedgwick. And this one was a Teresa Goodrich. I did this for Christina's Art Corner. She has a hashtag with this book every month. She's doing a different page. I think you vote on it. Check out this yellowing. This happened like immediately, yellowed. So got on this page too. It's not as bad on the back page, but I threw this tracing paper in there to try and save it. So these are the Kareen Neon water-based markers, the Brush Marker Pros. These neon markers are amazing. I am obsessed with them. They blend really well, even though they're water-based markers, especially on good paper. They blend really well. And they're so bright. They're so freaking bright. I love them. So I used the Kareen Neons. And then I also used my metallic acrylics to go over the lines. And I also used a Posca I wrote down. Oh, I know. I used the Posca just for the stars, I think. And then I did use, for the back, I used that one that yellowed so badly was the, this one, the Artex Oros. But the Ohuhu black also yellows. So be careful. I have been trying to use like my darker grays since I realized all the blacks are yellowing. I have also noticed on the Ohuhus, some of the purples, they don't yellow, but it's like they like bleed red after a while. So that's interesting. I tried to keep this like normal colors, and then I put I think white acrylic. Yeah, like I have like a white acrylic marker, like a brush marker that is like, it's really kind of dried out. So I use that just to make it kind of like foggy looking. But I like how that turned out. I didn't get to do that hashtag this past month, hoping to do it next month. And then I have 50 Woodland Miniatures by Camelia Angelkova. This book I've been working on with a group, and let me see, it's just a small group of us doing this. Jess is actually in this group, Jess Coloring Bumblebee, and she shows everybody's pages whenever on her completed videos, so you can catch everybody else's. I'm not that advanced yet in my YouTube making skills, but eventually maybe I'll get there. So I really like how this turned out. It's so simple. And I couldn't decide, like, was I gonna go like kind of whimsical with this? Because it's a lot of just like brown, right? Or was I gonna go like natural? So I feel like I kind of combined the two is what I tried to do. I went natural with my colors. And then I took my Languo gel pens and I tried to do something that would kind of make everything pop. And I love how it came out. I really love this page. I always do their sparkly eyes in this book, in all of her books actually. Yeah, I love that one. So I have like all the pages marked in here that I need to catch up on because I joined the group well into their journey. This is another page I've done in here for the group. And then this one also. I love this one. I think this was my first one I did with them. So I don't always make it with this one, but I try to. That's one of my priority books that I try to always make. And then this I would say is my favorite page from September. I'm just gonna adjust the camera a little bit. Sorry guys. So this one was for Spacetember, and this was for a group called Coloring Collab, and it was Lost in Space was the theme. And I just love how this turned out. This is Galaxy Gals by Kara Ann Aldridge. This is a great book if you guys haven't seen it. It's specifically for alcohol markers. The paper is amazing. So I watched a tutorial on TikTok, and shoot, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. If I can find it, I'll stick it on the screen. But I watched a Galaxy YouTube. I've done them before, but I just like to watch sometimes, like as I am doing something, even if I've done it before, like try out different people's methods, other than my own or other people's I've tried before. So this was a lot of blending, but I love how it turned out. It just kind of naturally came together. Like I love this area where it looks kind of, it's actually kind of splotchy, but it just made that galaxy feel really come to life. And then I added the stars with a Posca. I used my Oros, Artex Oros markers for this. Oros or Olo? Yeah, Oros. I always get Oros and Olo confused, always. So I used those for the whole page. I did, the theme of the group was, the mood board was like pastels, lost in space with pastel. So I did all the balloons pastel. I used my trusty metallic acrylic markers to outline those. I love how this came out with the ropes. It looks really cool, I think. I did a little bit of my Sparkle Pop silver on those bigger stars and her backpack. I love how her hair turned out. I just really love this page, honestly. Like this page, I almost want to like pull out and put in a frame, to be honest with you. I love it so much. I did end up going over, I think with my Prismacolors, I did a little bit of shading with those over the galaxy. Yes, I love this page. You guys should check out this book. It's really awesome. She's a smaller artist, and I got this book at Michael's. All right, so that's it for September. Let's see. Moving on to October. You can see I was much more into coloring in October. So I'm just gonna go down the line. And I didn't mention either that if you follow me on Instagram, I'm there at Hazy Hues Coloring, Hazy_Hues_coloring. And I post every picture, every page usually. But these are a couple that I didn't post. These are some paintings that I did. I wanted to just share. So this one was done with the Sketchbox kit I got. In my last haul, I shared that I was kind of disappointed with the Sketchbox that I had ordered. It was a gouache box. I got some Shinhan gouache paints and I think it was M. Daniels paint also. And this was the project. They sent this paper, they sent a paintbrush. I used the paper, I used the paintbrush they sent, and I followed the instructions. Now, the instructions were vague, to put it nicely. Sorry, coffee break. The instructions sucked, honestly. But I think it came out really good. I sketched the peacock, and then I did like kind of follow the instructions, but the instructions were like draw a peacock, add blue paint, color the beak, do the background. It didn't tell you how to do any of those things. It was just like do this, do that, like yeah, duh. But I did really enjoy myself doing this. The paints are amazing. They're awesome. I've never really used gouache before and I kind of fell in love with it. So definitely going to be using those, and I'm going to keep my Sketchbox subscription. This next box coming, I think in December, beginning of December, is it's a watercolor box, and it is like the color changing, the shifting watercolors. It's their brand, but they look cool. So, and I love those kind of paints, so I'm going to keep it. And I really love how this came out. I was very impressed with myself that I was able to actually sketch the peacock. Now, I did it a little too big because up here, his feathers were supposed to like, you were supposed to actually draw feathers, not just a little poof here. But that was okay, improvised. And the background, I think, could have been a little better, but I just was kind of like doing whatever felt right in the moment. I love it. I had a lot of fun with it. So that is what matters, I think. And then I got this beautiful watercolor book on sale at Hobby Lobby a couple months ago. So I decided to paint in it. I had gotten some watercolors. Let me grab them. Okay, so they're Daniel Smith. I got these at Blick last month or something. And so I wanted to use these. I used the mineral. So it's like a curated, they're both like curated sets of the dot cards. And this was so much fun. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So somebody who's familiar with water paper, please tell me though, because this book is very textured on one side, and then the next pages are all like stuck together. You see how it's ripped? Because I like ripped the pages because they were like stuck together. So are you only meant to use every other page? Because that seems like a big waste. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna experiment and see. But I didn't really have a plan for this. I was just kind of playing around, and I really like how it turned out. I used just those Daniel Smith Mineral Marvels dot cards. I used some brushes I already had. I have like a million brushes, and I used an Ohuhu fine liner to go over the rocks and just kind of create a desert scene. So I just wanted to share those because I really like painting also. Let me get this stuff out of the way. All right, so in October, the first page I colored was out of Matchstick Mouse, a Halloween coloring book. Let me take a sip of water. I can ramble on and on. I really can, but I don't very much, so. My freaking throat gets so dry. I keep having to adjust my camera. I'm sorry, guys. I hope that doesn't bug you too much. I did this for a Halloween group I was in. And this I colored on the first. This is the first page that I colored out of this book. And I based this pumpkin with Tombows, and then I went over it with Prismacolor, and you can see I kind of messed up the page because it is an Amazon printed book, and I went in hard with those Prismacolors. But then I went over all the lines with some Masters Touch fine brush acrylic pens that I got from Hobby Lobby. Let me show you these. They're awesome. They were cheap. I got them on sale, I think, for $20. And so they look like this. They came in a big, I want to say like, I got like 60 of them in the box. And the brush, you see this, is really fine brush. I love them. They are pretty opaque. I think here, this is probably 2 coats But I mean, that's normal. So you can see they're really good to do a bunch of stuff because you can do the line coverage and then you can also do details with them, you know, like I could not get that fine of detail for the fur with a regular size brush acrylic. So if you guys see these on sale, do not sleep on Hobby Lobby brand stuff. Do not, because you can get really good sales. They're the cheapest. They're the cheapest art store, even though they don't have the biggest selection. Most of their store I feel like is decor, which I also love, but you know, that's another story. You can find really good sales. You really can. Their coloring books, although they don't have a big selection, are super cheap. So cheap. So this was the first page I did in this book. Now in October, I will show you or tell you, I think I did work in 13 untouched books. So this was one of those. The next one I did was for a group, and this was In Life of Witches by Usiku. I've colored a little bit in this book, but not too much. Sorry, I did not mark these pages. I will try to do that this month, I should say. Okay, here it is. So this was for a traveling group that I was in, and the theme was, well, I mean, it didn't really have a theme. It was kind of just like on the go, was the mood board, and like very neutral colors and like the green and blue. So I really like how this page turned out, except I butchered their hands, guys. I don't know what happened here, but I went a little crazy with the Lingua gel pens. I should not have outlined them or their hair or their hands. I went too far, but I love how the windows turned out. I did this by coloring them in a really dark gray, and then I took the blender, my alcohol marker blender, and I did this with my Ohuhus, yes, my Honolulus. So then I took the blender and I took away the pigment where I wanted it, and then I went over in the green for the grass, and then I just went over the rest with just the Lingua gel pens to get this look, and I really like that. I'm gonna do that on another page the next time I get a chance, because I think it looks really cool. So this page was, like I said, supposed to be neutrals. Not a palette I would normally really pick, but I like how it turned out. It got me into this book, and I do like the texture I got here with the blender. I colored it, and then I just went like really hard with the blender. That's what I like about using that technique with the blender, is that you can do it like finely, or you can go hard and you can get different textures with it, which is kind of cool. Life of Witches. Okay, and then I worked in Cute and Creepy by Camelia D'Arco. I'm obsessed with her books. Obsessed. I love that they're like super simple, but also really cool. So let's see, I did 2 pages in this group. I did 2 pages in this book. This was the first one, and I did this with the Luminance pencils. Oops, sorry, that I got last month. I got the 78 count of Luminance last month. Sorry, I'm distracted because it looks like somebody is looking at the apartment that's open across the street. I'm just being a nosy neighbor. Sorry, squirrel. Okay, so I got the 78 Luminance at Blick last month. I would have preferred to buy the 100 count, but they had a great deal in store on the 78 count, so like the older set. I believe I paid $280 for them. Is that right? Or is it $180? No, maybe $280. Yeah, because I think the set normally goes for like $423 or something like that. Like if you go on Amazon. So they were $280, and then I think it's on Jackson's, you can get the rest of the pencil set to hit $100 for like $70, $75 maybe. So if you add that up, that's a savings of over $50. That's like a $75 savings, maybe a little less with shipping and tax, after I get the rest of the set from Jackson's. But that to me, I was like, I did not go into Blick that day expecting to spend that much money, but it's a set I've been wanting. I had bought the 12 set a while back, earlier, like January this year. I went into Blick in January when I decided I wanted to try out some colored pencils after starting with markers, and I bought like a bunch of 12 packs in smaller sets. Like I got the Luminance, I got Polys, and I've since gotten the Polychromo full set, which, to be honest, are not my favorite pencils, but I did get those free because I had like reward points from work, and I cashed those in to get an Amazon gift card and bought the Polys when they were on sale for like $160 on Amazon. I also got I got my 24 set of drawing pencils, Derwent drawing pencils. I got a 12 pack of the Lightfast, and I also got the Derwent, dang, what's it called? The dark ones, the graphite pencils, Graphitint, duh. So yeah, that was like a splurge in January. And so far I've gotten the Luminance out of that. I've gotten the Polys. I have on order the rest of the drawing pencils. So I do want the Lightfast pencils. So basically I got all those pencils to decide which ones I wanted to buy, like which set I would buy the full one. And now I'm like, oh, I need all of the big sets of all these pencils. So that was really a waste of money, because if you've ever bought the 12 sets, some of them are like $40 still. Like the Luminance ones were definitely, kicked that. The Luminance were like $40 for the 12 pack. So anyway, I'm rambling on. I used the Luminance on this. I love how that turned out. Doing this quick, simple page just really confirmed for me that making that purchase was the right thing to do. I then went back in with the granulating watercolors, the Kuretake granulating watercolors. And then I did go over the skulls in the background with a dark purple Linguo gel pen. One from the dark set of those. So you can't really tell, but it is tinted a bit. And then I did this page also with the Luminance. Now this one came out a little muddy. Can't say I'm completely happy with this page. I went in wanting to do all pastels, and my blending got a little crazy. So then I was like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to do all the colors. I'm just going to do green, orange, yellow. And so I kind of backtracked on myself, and it did get muddy around the edge, but I still feel like it looks pretty. I like how this came out. I did the background ghosts with the Linguo gel pens, and then I just used random acrylics to go over the lines. I'm obsessed with going over lines with acrylics, if you hadn't noticed. So I'm happy with that. I honestly haven't done another page since with the Luminance. I should probably pull those out again. There's just like so little time for everything I want to do. Ugh, I know you guys understand. It's horrible. This page is probably my favorite for October. This is Camelia Angelkova, 30 Spellbound Fanciful Cave Scenes, and I love this book. I love how this page turned out. This was for a group using a mood board and no color palette. I borrowed the color palette actually from Daria. She is on Instagram and TikTok. I'm sorry, I will try and get better at writing down people who give me inspo to shout them out correctly. So she had done this palette in a completely different page. It was like a sea page with flowers and a lighthouse, if I remember correctly, and rocks. But she had posted her colors on that video, and so I kind of took most of those colors and did my own thing with them. And I love this blue combination. I don't feel like the camera's picking it up correctly because it is so bright. It's like really bright. I also used Willow Lake Studios How to Color book for the crystals. This was a different kind of method than I had used in the past with the crystals, where you do the same color and then light, medium, dark on each facet. And I love how that turned out. I am going to probably use that from now on. But it's very sparkly. And I just love this. It like makes my eyes happy when I look at it. So, yeah, this is my favorite. I love it. I think I mentioned before, like every page that I do, I think it's the first page I've done in this book. Every page, yeah, I guess so. I love this book though. Every page I do in a Camellia Angelcova book, I end up loving. Now, Creepy Kawaii Halloween. I did this also for a group. The camera's making these pages look kind of washed out and dull, but they are brighter in person. So hard to capture. This was a mood board for a pastel carousel, but like creepy Halloween. So this was the perfect page for this. And I did this with the Oros, Artex Oros markers. I used my metallic acrylics to get over. And I used some Sparkle Pop and Crazy Pop on there. You can see the glitter in the sky. Just little touches everywhere. So I like how this turned out too. I love this book. I really do. I love the pastel with the Halloween. I think it's really cool. Very cute and creepy. I have the, oh no, sorry, she sees someone else, our little girl. Oda Agda, the Huldrefoot Going on Adventure. So I was in a true crime group and I think it was a great idea, but I had to drop it because I don't know, I was kind of going back and forth with it. Like, I like the idea of it, but then I got thinking, and I don't ever want to like glorify a crime. Like, I love true crime. I love listening to it on podcasts and watching shows and stuff, but like, no hate to that group at all. No hate at all. But I just, I'm really busy anyway and had to drop all my groups. But this page was, let me see if I wrote it down. John Darwin from the UK. The story was that he had faked his own death, gone out on a kayak, had faked his own death. His wife was in on it. They tried to get his insurance money. I don't think it ever even worked. He ended up living like in like a secret shed in there, connected to their house or something, and then they moved to like South America somewhere, and yeah, basically it was just fraud. He ended up popping up and saying, oh, I think I'm a missing person. That's like what he told the cops. So I had a really hard time finding a page for that story. I had a couple ideas, but I ended up doing this. This is actually the title page. This is something I love about the Oda Agda books, is their title pages are always like an actual coloring page. So I saw this one with the boat and I was like, okay, kayaking. And this had a very specific color theme. Like it was red, teal, brown, greens. Kind of like a color scheme that I would never think I would never do. So I had to get unique, creative with it. And that's what I love about groups on Instagram, is that you have to be pushed out of your boundaries and your comfort zone. But I think this ended up working really well for this page because like I did the water red, like blood, you know, murder, or he died or whatever. And then I had the banner, so I put his quote there. So I think it worked for that group for sure. So yeah, that's the story of John Darwin from the UK, trying to get money that he never got. And now I think it was like, I don't think he went to jail, or if he, no, I think they both went to jail, him and his wife. And wasn't long though, and now I think he's like remarried and had posted some like really weird cryptic stuff on social media or something. I don't know. You get check out the story if you're interested. Basically, the guy's just a loser. So, next one is Little Miss Pumpkinhead by, I don't know if it's Demi or Demi's Coloring Corner. I think it's Demi. I did this page. So this was also for a group. Surprise, surprise. This was for Coloring Collab group. The same one I did the space page last month in September for. So this was like a rainy cafe day mood board. And so I picked this page. I wanted to do all Halloween pages last month. And I did pretty good with that, like following the mood boards and still finding a page in my Halloween or autumn themed books. So I tried to make it like a gray day. I kept this one simple. I didn't do any really details. I mean, I did, I guess. Like I did the water puddles. I did the rain with a Posca. But other than that, I did write that in, but I didn't go over with, I have no acrylic other than that on this page. So it was kind of hard for me, honestly, to like keep this simple, but I like how it turned out. I wasn't sure with the light if I should have done the walls a different color and kind of like made the glow. But since I was trying to keep it simple, I was like, nope, you know what? I'm just going to do the whole thing just yellow for like to symbolize the light. And I really like how it turned out. Simple, but cute. I like how the rain turned out. The only thing I wish I had done with the rain is make the little splashes in the bottom, you know, but next time I'll do that. So I think that's really cute. I love this book. Love that artist. Next up was a berry coloring travel book. This was for that same travel group that I was in, and the theme for this one was UK. So I did England. And this is like such a classic London page. I tried to do something different with the sky. Not sure like how it turned out, but I think it has potential if I worked on the method a little bit more. I used, I think, the Oros. Where is it? Yes, I used the Artex Oros. I used random acrylics on this page. I have some of the metallic acrylics. I have some regular acrylics. I have like a ton of acrylic markers. I just kind of grab and go with those. So yeah, this turned out cute. And I love to do pages like this where you like continue it out. If it's like too complicated, I won't do that. But if it's easy enough to just like continue the lines, I like to do that, to do like make it the whole page. I feel like it has a different feel than if there was a border. I really like the berry coloring books. This one, you guys probably, if you watch my haul videos, you will recognize a lot of these books from there. I worked in, like I said, 13 new books, so a lot of these were new to me. Oh my gosh, it's getting so hot in here with that window like open. Super hot. I am in Florida. I'm on the coast, the Gulf Coast. I live like just north of Clearwater. So the weather has been crazy here. Crazy. Like, it's normally not that cold this time of year. It like starts to get colder, but it has been freezing. I had to bring my plants inside the other day, guys. Like, it was so cold. I didn't want them to die. I've been trying to like really work on my plants and like not be a horrible plant mom. And so I brought them all inside. I brought a frog inside with one of them even. But it was like, it got really cold, below 40 for like 2 mornings, I think. And then today it's back up like into, I don't have my other phone in here to see, but I would say it's probably 75 out now. So it's nice. Now, that was a bit too cold. Normally it doesn't get that cold here until like January or February. So this page was for a Halloween group I did, and this was in Asylum by Deborah Muller. I did use on the door, I used from Willow Lake Studios Spooky Coloring How-To Book. I used a method that she has in there. Was meant to be for like a brick wall, but I used it on this door just to kind of make it like give it an aged look. I think I like it, but I don't know. I feel like it could be a little more natural maybe next time. Maybe I did too much of the colors. But I went in with some acrylic markers after, and I put in these like moss to kind of make it look like she's been stuck in there forever. I added a little bit of blood to her head to give it the creep factor. They already had the spider webs and stuff, so I just outlined those and the cracks. And with this I did use the Oros. Yes, I've been using the Artex Oros a lot more because they're in here. They're in my coloring room at my desk. And then I have my Ohuhus out at the couch. So like I used to be like a couch colorer before I moved, and now I have this room, which is amazing, and I love being in here. And I have my Oro set on the desk. All my supplies are in here, and I just have a few out in the living room. I have like my Prismas and my Ohuhus in the living room, and so I kind of go back and forth, but I would say I have been coloring in here more. So I probably have to I'll probably have to bring my Ohuhus in here because I do love those, and I have so many backups. I don't want those to like go dry sitting around because I have like probably the whole 320 set backup, and plus I have a lot of extras, so I need to use those. Even though I do use them up, I use like every time I color, one of my Ohuhus dries up, is like dried, like, because I just got the Artex. I would say I've only used the Artex on like maybe 10 pages. We'll say that. What is next? We have, let me see, Sweet and Spooky coloring. Sweet and Spooky. So this is by Kitty Willow Wilson. And I did this page. This was for a fairy group that I was in. And I remember I had a problem with these clouds. They gave me some issues, but I think they turned out okay in the end. So this was a, it's supposed to be like a fairies in a blueberry garden. And so this isn't really a blueberry garden, but I followed the palette. There are some berries. There are, I think they're blueberries. I made them blueberry-ish. I have a lot of sparkle on this page. This is a lot of Crazy Pop and Sparkle Pop. I did this with, I think, the Ohuhus. No, I did this with the Artex Oros. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should shut the door next time on the windows. So the Oros and the Ohuhus I did, I guess, with this one. I did miscellaneous acrylics. I used some jelly rolls, and I used some Sparkle Pops. So this was cute, I thought. Everybody else did like nice little fairies, and mine, was a ghost because, you know, it is Halloween. Was Halloween. So I like how this turned out. And it was a cute, simple palette too. Then I have this. Let me, oh, the shadows are changing. I have Amandine Young, I think it's actually pronounced, her tarot book. And this page for me is like way out of my comfort zone. I can't say I actually like this page, but it was out of my normal comfort zone. There was no palette. This was me trying to be different. So I wanted to do her like a very striking color, and I think I achieved that because it's definitely striking. But I don't know. I think it could have looked better and different with a different skin color. But I guess I do like it how it came out. I love how the water came out with the different tones of blues. This actually really was, I kept it pretty simple. I have some sparkle pop on there. I like how I did the background. I try to do pastels in the background and just kind of blend them lightly. And I do like how that looked. I'm probably going to use that in another page sometime. And this paper is amazing. This is, I guess, the Amazon Premium paper. And it is so nice. It really is. There's like such less amount of bleeding over the lines because these are very thin lines and I had like no problem with bleeding at all. So I did use Ohuhu's and I used the Linguo shiny pens on here. So that's the first time I think I used the sparkly Linguos. I like them. They're a big set. I don't know that I needed 72 of those sparkly pens. But they were cheap. I think I got them for like 20 bucks on Temu. Then I have in this book, Fledgling Fairies. Now these are all Christine Karen books, and I got this when Joanne was closing. Is that? I don't think that. Oop, I don't know why I have that. I think I just have that marked for an autumn page. So this page I was very frustrated with. This page was very frustrating for me. So I started this page with the Artex. I guess I used some Tombows on there too. I like how her skin came out. But then, and I like her hair. Oh yeah, this I use the Pro Colors on too. So I use Artex, Tombows, Prismas, and Pro Colors on this page. And this was for a group, it was Mother Earth was the theme. So I kind of rushed through this page at the end because it was taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought this page was going to be really quick because it is grayscale, that I would just be able to like just real quick do it, and that's not how it turned out. It took me forever, and then I was rushing to get it done for the group deadline. So I did not get as much shading on the leaves as I wanted. I just feel like it's not as crisp as it could have been, and so it is what it is. But I mean, I like it overall. It's just could have been better. Her hair though, I used the Pro Colors. Her eyebrows, I used the Pro Colors, and I do really like how I got that like fine detail. I mean, the hair, I'm not an expert at the hair. I know it could be better, but I do like how it turned out. So yeah, this is an awesome book. And she also has some non-grayscale in here. This is the only book I have with any Christine Karen in it. Then I did a page in Fairy Beauties by Coco Wyo. This was for a group of girls also. And we did this page. This page kind of also annoyed me. I don't know why, but it frustrated me and took me a lot longer than it should have. I felt like the lines, I went over them and made it like too bold, and it just was looking kind of like, I don't know, I just don't like the look of it. But overall, I like how it looks. There's no color palette or anything. It's just do this page. And so I went over everything with different acrylics, and I colored this with Artex Oros, and I have some Sparkle Pop in here, of course, my Sparkle Pop. So to me, she looked like she was like Barbie, so I did her like blonde hair Barbie. But another girl in the group, Chelsea Biggity, she did it as Tiana, and I was like, oh my god, this is so obviously Tiana. Like, how could I not, like, with the frogs? Why did I not see that at first? But, oh, I know why I was annoyed with this page. Because I used these markers that I got at the Dollar Tree. I don't know if you guys saw these going around YouTube, but they're cool. They're outline markers from the Dollar Tree. And they do work really well, but I used them for the outline of the border. And it ended up just looking like I went over the lines with color. So then I had to go over it with another marker, and it just frustrated me. But this is my first page in this book. They're a really, really, really sweet group of girls. Jenny's Pages runs that group. If you guys want, I'm sure they would love to have you. You just need to reach out to her from her YouTube. We're almost done here. So this is the Chilling and Killing, the sequel by Demi's Coloring Corner. And this, I think I showed in my haul video by accident, but this was for that true crime group. The crime was, I don't remember the name. I did not write the name of the guy down, the criminal, but it was a dad who put cyanide in his Halloween candy to like kill his own kid. And so I saw this page and I just thought it kind of fit the theme. And like I said in my haul video, I used a lot of the tutorials from Willow Lake Studios books on this page. And I really like how this came out. I don't have any sparkle on here, but I did use Ohuhus. I used a pastel pencil for the glow on the lights and the moon. They're the General's pastel pencils, and I used just random acrylics. Yes, so kind of gory, but I like it. Oh, let's see, Dragon Spell. I did another page in here for the group we have on Instagram. This one took me like all month. So this was the page for the month, the Dragon Summoner. And I did this with Inktense for all of this smoke. So I tried to come in down here for this smoke, or whatever it is, with a darker set of pink, purple, and blue. And then I tried to do the tornado, the background, and like a lighter version of those with Inktense. I did the dragons with some metallic watercolor. You can see it's metallic. Those are Michael's metallic watercolors. Those work best if you use like very little water with them. Otherwise, they are pretty transparent. I did the bookshelf and the books with Luminance. I also used Tombow to base everything on this page, and just some random acrylics also. I think I used Posca White, just a random black marker, acrylic marker. I really love how the bookshelves came out with the Luminance. Those were the first things I did. I forgot I did this with the Luminance. I love how those came out. I think the detail really shined through. I love those pencils. I couldn't decide what to do with the books. I ended up just going with neutrals because I wanted this to be the focus. And I wish that I didn't put stars on his robe. But it's a small detail that probably no one else will notice. I have some Sparkle Pop on here too, of course. So I really like that page. This is the page for, no, that's the page I need to catch up on. The page for this month, I didn't mark, so I'm not going to do it. It's a candy page, and I'm kind of over like Halloween theme stuff. Okay, this is my last page. Good thing, because the shadow has just gotten more and more and more. So this is Dream of Chibis by Lucy Liu. I saw another book by her the other day, and I was like, what other book did she make? I forget what other one was now, but I really like this. I got this at Michael's. And this, I did this with the Artex Oros, Posca, and Sparkle Pop. And this is a very simple page. I did this for the hashtag that I hosted, Coloring for Breast Cancer 2025. I am a breast cancer survivor. I'm still within my 5 years of being diagnosed. Still on some treatments, but I am living life, and it is something that is, you know, has been life-changing for me. So I wanted to put a hashtag out there, because October is all about Halloween and breast cancer. Obviously, it's breast cancer month also, so I wanted to celebrate that. And when I went into looking for a page for this, I thought I was going to do like a page symbolizing like the transformation I have been through on my cancer journey. But when I was looking for a page, none of those were calling to me. This page was calling to me. This page to me represents the kind of loneliness that you go through, and the heartbreak. I wanted her to be all in grayscale, but then all the pink around her. Even when you are surrounded by love, surrounded by support, when you're in the thick of cancer, it's very isolating. And so that is what I ended up wanting to, that was what I was drawn to represent. I, wanted to do what felt right to me, and not just something happy and, peppy, because that's not always what it's about, and this was actually very healing for me to color and just kind of be honest with myself about that. So even though this page is very simple, I really like it. There were already some like symbols in her hair. I added the little ribbons. There were some hearts and these little drops, and I added those. I added the pink tears, which I think is very symbolic. And I just wanted to send some love to all my breast cancer sisters, and anyone going through it or has gone through it, you understand this. Or even if you have, been a caretaker for someone going through breast cancer, or any cancer for that matter. So I unfortunately don't have the pages for everybody who participated in this hashtag with me. It was the first hashtag I've hosted, and I thought that I could just go back and grab the pages from like the tag, but apparently that's not true, because the pages were not all there, and unfortunately I did not save them as I saw them. So now I know to do that for next time, so I can share everybody's. But thank you so much for everybody who participated in this and joined me in coloring for breast cancer. I know there's already a lot of, everybody knows about breast cancer. We don't really need much more awareness, but I think the awareness that needs to be put out there is that there seems to be the stigma of breast cancer that it is just, it's just breast cancer, you'll be fine. But that's not true. It is a horrible disease. The treatment is horrible. It's a long, long road. And so yeah, that's the kind of awareness that I would like to bring to it, is that it's not just save the boobies. It is, it's hard. So those are all the pages for me for September and October. Now, November for me, like I said, this was my plans, and I crossed out like everything basically. So crossed out everything. So I'm in a couple of groups, but I'm definitely not going to have as many pages. I had 17 pages done last month. So yes, 17 and 17 and 16 books. And it's definitely not going to be that for this month, but I'm hoping I can hit, like, if I hit 10, that'll be like, that's my goal, is to hit maybe 10. I think I could do that if I think I'll have the time to do that. So those are all my completed pages. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. Give me some pointers. I'm still new at coloring. I've been doing this for almost a year now, since the end of last year. Like, I think like December 27th or 28th is when I started coloring, and I think I might do like a video of like my progression, so you can see some of my earlier work versus this, what I've been doing lately. And so I look forward to seeing everybody else's work from October. I know most of you have already posted your October pages. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that, because I do post everything that I color as I go, but I think also just seeing it in video and me talking about it a little bit is kind of cool. So let me know, do you have any pointers for me? I'm still new with this YouTube thing, figuring it out. What should I color this month? I am kind of caught between, should I just go on to winter and Christmas coloring, which the weather lately this week has made me want to do, or should I do a few more autumn pages? I have one page done this month, and I have one page that is almost done. I just have to add the details. So I'm going to try and do that today and get at least one other page done today. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. It's Saturday afternoon for me, and I have just been hanging around, relaxing. I hope the same for you. I hope you get lots of coloring in, and I will see you guys around. Follow me on Instagram. I always try and follow back. Even if it takes me a few days, I do always try and follow back. So go ahead and do that so that I can see everything that you do. All right, have a good one. Bye.